It's December. It's getting a little bit hectic. My to-do lists are endless. My planner looks like I stacked 3 months into one, and honestly, my brain is a little bit tired and less creative from the last quarter of the year alone. So today I thought I would use my sketchbook practice to gift myself a space of slow living and some relaxing art ideas that I think my brain and also my soul need to face these busy days ahead as the year comes to an end. And because Ohuhu sent me new markers to play with, I'm really excited about it. So let's just jump right in, get creative, and a little bit relaxed too. Okay, so here are my new pens from Ohuhu, and of course I have my sketchbook. Let me get these out. Here's a closer look at one of these journaling pens. You can see they have a double tip, one round perfect for dotting, and on the other side a fine tip. And these are water-based markers, and because we are not starting messy, we'll probably just finish messy. How about I quickly arrange these in a nice color order so everything looks pretty for us to start. Oh, and before I forget, if you want to grab a discount code for everything Ohuhu, I have it on the description of this video, so you can get these markers and everything on their website for a discounted price. Okay, ready. Washi tape frame on the page, and then I painted the whole background with watercolor. Let it dry and remove the tape. A clean, nice background ready to start. And as I do, I want to remind you that today I'm approaching my sketchbook practice differently from any other video I've done so far. Today, I'm just doing stuff to try to relax, and to do that, I'm trying not to overthink and follow my first impulse with this new medium, which is to use the side for dotting like a kid in kindergarten. I really didn't want to think much, just use the color and relax as I listened to some soothing music. Just getting to use color is very satisfying and relaxing to me. I also experimented a little bit by touching the two markers together to see if the colors would blend. And yeah, I was just enjoying this very soft process, which gave my brain a break because it's so mindless. I was filling my page very quickly with my dots, and as I got near the end, my imposter syndrome kicked in and started to criticize what I was doing because it's so simple. I didn't really see any artistic value in it. It is just a page full of dots after all. And this is where I really had to breathe in, be nice to myself, and understand and explain again to myself why I'm using my sketchbook today. I am coming to my sketchbook to relax, and to accomplish that, I need to keep it simple and a little mindless. So I gently guided my imposter syndrome out of the room, and I started to relax and just enjoy my mark making, letting my brain focus on a mindless activity that will help me disconnect. So here's my first very simple result. I mean, yeah, it could be a poster. Here's a little mock-up. But of course, it's not my favorite, so let's just move to the second idea. Again, I was searching for relaxation and a little bit of satisfaction from my work. So after I taped an edge around my page, I reached for my watercolors and I painted these very loose, watery, simple flowers. Just the simplest of shapes, almost like a doodle, mixing colors and enjoying watching the watercolor move and mix. Once the flowers dried, I added a little bit of pink to the background just to get a crisper line from my tape peel, and when everything was dry, I started doodling lines on top of the flowers with my new pens. Then I just really wanted to use more dots again. But this time I was excited to try the gold metallic marker. Oh, that was so satisfying, just filling the centers with dots. I was going to dot the edge of the flowers too, but I didn't like it. So I just used that tip of the marker to create a thick border around them. Loved painting these. It was a very satisfying and relaxing process. And I was happy that it could be relaxing and enjoyable and still get a very nice page for my sketchbook. So actually this page I really love. And yes, it looks beautiful as a larger piece. Okay, third relaxing idea for our sketchbooks. Again, the tape goes on, and I'm just going to start doodling lines around this little teardrop that I made randomly on the page. This again was very nice to do, just flowing as I drew the lines, playing by alternating the two types of tips and enjoying the feeling of my pen against the paper. After a few lines, I decided to switch colors to red, and then I thought I would use more analog colors and added yellow as well. I enjoyed making this so much, it was so satisfying, but once I filled the whole page, I was back where I was with my first page and really disliked the final result. Which honestly, now as I edit, I think I like it. But at that moment, I was trying to make it work, looking at it from different angles, looking at my previous pages, and really worrying about this video not appealing to anyone because it's just so simple so far. But again, I reminded myself that the objective of today's sketchbook sitting is just to give myself some love and relaxation that I really need. So I thought, okay, if I don't like it, let's play with it. And because these are water-based markers, it occurred to me it would be cool to see how much they move if I take a brush with water and brush it on top. Oh, that felt nice. Pigments did move a lot, like watercolors, especially the red. I like that a lot, but what I like the most is that you can still see some of the lines of the markers underneath, giving it texture. I let that dry and I really liked it, so I just added a couple of extra lines with the gold pen to make it into a cool abstract composition. Got the satisfaction from my tape peel, and once I did, I thought maybe I should add a couple more lines. And yeah, done, and I really like it. So why not? Let's see it as a huge poster on a beautiful mocked up space for us to admire the beauty of the simplicity of this idea. Next page, and for this one, I thought I would keep playing with my markers and water. So I drew a circle with two colors and used my wet brush on top to see how the colors mixed. Used the stencil for the first circle, but that felt too rigid, so I eyeballed the rest. I was just playing with the markers and the pigment and seeing how the different types of lines and amount of color would move once I applied water on top. I filled my page with circles and let it dry. Then I wanted to see if the pigment from the gold pen would move in the same way, and it did, but it lost a little bit of its sparkle, so I just added gold watercolor on top of the rest of the circles. After it all dried, I wanted to play with mark making again, using my markers in all the ways I could think of: dots, thick lines, thin lines, circles, doodles, just having fun, relaxing, listening now to a podcast, and that was it. Fourth page of the day, and this one was also pretty relaxing, and I actually am very happy with this spread now. I think it's so bright and beautiful. Feeling better already, so I'm gonna move to the fifth idea, and I wanted to divide my page in different areas. I am using different colored lines again. I wanted to see what the result of adding water would be when the lines were separate. Super different result, the lines are more apparent and the pigment didn't move as much. I did add more color on top of some areas to have more contrast. Removed the tape again, and I just wanted to play by stamping dots all around. This is not the most innovative idea, but using the markers like this, like tiny stamps all over the page, just feels good. And I think maybe the result of this page could trigger people who have that fear of like a lot of holes together. I don't remember the name, but if you have it, please jump to the next page or the next chapter before I finish. Sorry. Maybe the result can be off-putting, but doing this using the colorful pens like the stamps in repetitive movements feels so relaxing. So yeah, that's it. Just some dots again, but I really like how that background makes the dots look different and like deeper, and the randomness of it all just made me feel good. It's just a fun page and it really helped me with relaxing. Idea number 6. Yes, I'm taping a border again. I really like my borders on my sketchbook now. It just makes everything look neater. So I drew a lot of different size circles with my compass, and then I got the same colors I used for the background on the opposite page, and I started to draw lines. While I was doing the first circle, I realized maybe I should have made the pencil lines lighter with an eraser before starting, but oh well. Drawing lines through all the circles, just changing the directions and the line widths. The way the lines cross where the circles overlap is very satisfying. Such a nice, relaxing, mindless activity. When I was done, I erased the rest of the pencil lines, pulled my tape off, and here is the other side of that spread. Super fast, but super nice to make. I feel better and better with each page I do today. On to the 7th idea. I taped the border, and then I'm just using my yellow marker in a zigzag from both directions of the page in a diagonal. What a mouthful for something so simple. filled some of the diamonds that I had as a result randomly with color, and then I filled some others with green. On top of that, more water with my brush. How nice. When it dried, I felt it needed a little bit more green, so I added that, more water on top, and let it dry again. Then with a different darker color, I went over the zigzag I created, making those diamonds or irregular squares apparent again. Now for the fun, relaxing part. On each diamond, I drew curved lines parallel to each side, going further in with each layer. And finally, filling in the leftover space. I am basically doing some Zentangle art, but using color. These repetitive drawings on paper just help you feel great and relaxed. Put some soothing music on to do it, and you'll see. As more diamonds are filled, it's nice to see how the page comes together. It looks like flowers or something. Super satisfying process. Fill the last diamond, and of course after that there's another satisfying tape peel. And here it is. I think it's awesome. Maybe not for wall art, but I'm sure this pattern can be beautiful on so many things, and mostly it's so satisfying to create. For my 8th page, drawing a smaller rectangle in the middle of my page, and I'm back to the dots. But don't worry, this time I'm not going to trigger anyone. I am using them to stamp some little flowers, 5 and 6 petal flowers, all over the rectangle with 2 colors. I'm not keeping them all inside the rectangle, but going slightly over with some, making it look organic. This is just amazing to do. It's very nice to switch between the 2 markers and just fill the page with dots. When it was full, I stamped the lighter yellow at the centers of some of the flowers, and after that, with a 4th color, I chose green, I went in to fill all of the negative space between the flowers that fell inside the background rectangle. I'm slowly filling in the spaces in between all of the flowers. Again, a mindless, delicious, satisfying process. Your attention will be fully in this soft process, allowing your brain to focus mindfully in the page and not on your to-do list. This felt so great that I actually filled even more of the negative space that I had actually planned for originally, going in even the tiniest spaces. This brought me joy, and it's a very sweet and simple result, and I actually love it so much. Why not try it out as a print in a mock-up too? There, lovely. Because all of the previous 8 pages really helped me to relax and put me in a calmer, easier, softer mood, I don't even know how to explain it, but now I felt like actually doing something more graphical. An idea just came to me, so I taped my border and sketched a face in the style I do most of my paintings. Just a little simpler, a little bit more cartoony. Here it is. Once I had the drawing down, I took the blue pen and did all of the outlining with it. Erased the pencil guides and then made the outer lines thicker with the round dotting tip from the marker, and then ran my wet brush on top to create that watercolor background effect. For the hair, I used a different shade of blue to draw the strands, nice, flowing, relaxing lines with both sides of the pen to get different types of lines. Then added a little bit more of water to the hair too, just to move that pigment slightly and have a background that wasn't completely white. I decided to do the same for the flower she was wearing, and when everything dried, I grabbed yet another shade of blue and started drawing leaves along the lines of the hair. Different leaves with different markers, just changing the scale and layering them. Then I used the different blue markers to add details to her face. Used the darkest blue to draw the same flower she's wearing on her hair, and I also used it to make the outline sharp again. Finally, I removed the tape, and here's my final illustration. And yes, the colors and style were also inspired by this little clay cat ring holder that I made in a past video. I really like the colors of this cat, so I thought it would be beautiful as an illustration too. And with that final beautiful page, I am done for today. Wow, this is what I needed to feel better. It relaxed me so much. I really had this beautiful time where I forgot about my crazy planner, my to-do list, and everything that was still pending for the month. This gave me a beautiful space to relax. I feel so much better, and I hope you also enjoyed these ideas and that this video gave you a nice little break from your busy day. With that, I hope to see you next Friday with a brand new video, and until then, hope you're having the most beautiful day. Bye!